Yeah. So there we go. Just like that, through the modern technology and the wonders of the internet, I'm here in Franklin, Tennessee, joined by the ringer himself, Isaac Lockwood, out on the West Coast. Good morning, sir. Thank you for making time for me on a Sunday.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, we got a lot of things to talk about because we are officially within that 2 week window of the first ever Bill Drill Challenge. And we've been going back and forth on this basically since last fall. And we're starting to get some traction. I'm excited. So, for those who don't already know, last year at the Carry Optics Nationals, Hennig Group and Leif Kunkel, GX Products, they ran a Bill Drill side match where everyone who was in the match was invited to put down $20 and take 2 attempts at their fastest Bill Drill. And that money stacked up over the course of the match. And at the end of it all, when the dust settled, the person who picked up that coffee can money is none other than the handsome, striking Isaac Lockwood. Isaac, talk about how it went last year, because that was a pretty straightforward endeavor. I mean, it was basically, buy back in as many times as you want and give it a rip.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. Um, Once I became aware of that challenge, that side match, I put a little bit more time. I like running build drills. I like to use it for a lot of different things for training. But once I was aware of it, I put a little bit more time because I thought I had a good chance, and it was well ran, very simple, very easy to do within the match whenever you could do it. So I feel like there was a lot of people flowing in and out that thought they had a chance. It was uh, it was good. After the first day, I was able to get a lead because they have leaders for the day, and then you can kind of see where everybody's at least by the end of the day. And then the next morning, I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday, but regardless, it was the last day. I saw that I had been beat, and it was a pretty good time. I can't remember exactly what the time was. I think it was a 144 or something like that, or no, a 138. I think I had the 144, which I felt pretty comfortable with, and then 138 came in. So basically, I'd be lying if I didn't say I spent the money, but I got on the phone with my wife and told her, "Hey, it's $20. I'm going to take some money out of the account, but I will win more. It will be all back in there." So she kind of gave me the go ahead. You got to get the permission first. But she said, "Just win it." I said, "Yes, ma'am." So yeah, I put some money in. I didn't use all my attempts, but I put several $100s in to make sure that I had enough tries to get comfortable. So it was a good buildup. Um, Definitely more pressure than when you're just shooting back home. Much more, which it's good and bad. It's like we all strive for that, and then when we're in it, it's like, okay, how are we going to handle it? So it's been good for me. Huge growing experience, and I was just very happy I was able to put a good time down.
Yeah, dude. And thankfully, we had captured a few of your attempts as the squad went through, but somebody, thankfully, like I said, was able to get it on iPhone because I
Yeah.
incorporated that into the coverage of last year's Carry Optics Nationals, and it was a 120 something that you ended up winning with, and one of your A hits was in the upper scoring area, which
Yes.
you can claim that because it counts. But if you want to try to tell me and the rest of the world that you aimed for that in 126 ish, I don't know, dude.
No,
But it doesn't matter because
absolutely
it
not.
worked. And that's how you get to the point where you are now. And that's where the idea piece started to blossom for me. How do we make more out of that? Because that is exciting to watch. That is really fun to watch. And we're in a phase right now where it's kind of let's take a crawling step and maybe the next one will be a walking step. And eventually I'm hopeful that we get to a running pace with this. But either way, we're off the ground, thankfully, with the help of Howitzer, which you have a
Mhm.
relationship with. Eric saw the vision. Eric, he gave me 5 minutes to wave my hands in the air and talk about what do I see when we do something like this, and he buys in, man. And so thanks to him, we have traction. We're able to do it. In addition to that, thanks to Colt, we have the prize money match. So to pick up where I had left off, uh, Hennig and Leif and their people are going to run the same side match like last year. And they have cash paybacks for everybody who wins by division. And then there's an overall lump of money that will be distributed to whomever it is who has the fastest build drill. And then the build drill challenge will start. And this will be on Saturday afternoon after the afternoon squads have shot at Carry Optics Nationals in 2 weeks. And at that point, we shift into this format where it's still a build drill. You still have to clean it. You still have to be all A. But whoever the person is who is deemed the fastest out of that, what we're going to call the qualifying match, they've won their pickup money, and that's in their pocket. This is not a double or nothing. This is a direct money match. However much money is won by that competitor, whoever that is, gets the right to enter the build drill challenge against you, against Isaac. And you come in with the backing of, you know, what we're trying to do with this project. And like I said, this is early steps. So we've got a money match, courtesy of Colt, and we're doing this, like I said, thanks to Howitzer in conjunction with Hennig Group and GX Products, because they're going to essentially get us the contender, and you're the ringer. And now there will be 6 attempts, and we'll flip a coin and, you know, call it in the air. Whoever wins that coin flip will then get the right to decide if they want to begin their attempts or have the opponent begin their attempts. And whoever ends up beginning with the shooting, whoever starts the shooting, once they have a clean time, they have then the right to stand on that time and force the opponent onto the line to beat that time. And you get a total of 6 attempts, whether you set a clean one in one, you set a nice slow, you know, methodical clean one with hopes that the other guy will step up there and try to burn it up real fast. I don't know. There's strategy pieces in that. So yeah. Where are you with the strategy? Are you starting to think about this? Like, is this starting to set in? Or, I mean, I know you're busy. But,
Yeah.
I mean, this is about to happen.
You're right. Right. Yeah. I actually did kind of like a 6-run thing just to kind of see where I was at, what I can do. Hopefully under pressure, a solid, clean run, and where that would end up versus,
Do not say
this. No. Oh, no.
Do not say a number.
No, I can't give away some secret, but I'm sure there's other guys doing the same thing. And especially there's that's what's really cool is this kind of brought out this and then kind of the little 4x4 challenge I did a while back brought out some real speed ninjas that, like, I don't think many people knew existed. Maybe some people did. I certainly didn't. It'll be interesting if any of those guys show up because I got my work cut out for me. But I'm confident. I've been ending with build drills, kind of like Saturday after I finish shooting. I'll be warmed up, so I'll have that at least to come into because it's only 6 attempts, like you said. Could be a variable for a lot of strategies and a lot of different ways to run it depending on where the coin flip, which is great. But yeah, the key is to get a good one. I think whoever's first, I think the biggest strategy is to get a good one and then pass it off and put the pressure on somebody else and see if they have what it takes.
Well, let me ask you this without going like into your legit strategy. I'm not going to ask you the steps, and I certainly don't want you to start talking about consistent times that you're putting up there because let's not do that. But let's say you win that coin flip. Are you going to want to set an opening time, or are you going to force your opponent to get in there and set?
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna go first.
These are those elements, man. I'm telling you. My job in my career has always been to push the good news of the shooting sports. And in this instance, I am super excited with the fact that we're on the cusp of doing something completely different, something that I don't think I've seen since the days of Bob Munn in the late 80s, early 90s at End of Trail, where he would do his exhibition and they would call over the loudspeaker, "Come watch Bob Munn, the fastest gun alive," and all of that. And there wasn't money involved, but there was always a crowd of people, and there was always the ooh, and then the quiet, and the anticipation, and then the cheers. And when you start to wrap that into this, plus the pressure, plus the sound of a sub 1.5 second draw and 6 accurate shots, I mean, I'm so excited for this, I can't stand it.
Yeah, definitely. It is kind of surprising. It's something the Bill Drill's classic. It's a drill that I think all competition shooters have at least tried, if not do it ever so often, just to kind of track their sights, ensure that they have good grip with follow-up shots, that sort of thing. For me, it was certainly more than anything, and I'm sure more can relate to this, is just we love guns and we love shooting. That's why we like fully automatics. How fast can we shoot each bullet type of thing? We just love that. I don't know. I love this sound. It's the greatest. So it's kind of been building over the years, and each time I get a little bit of improvement here and there, it's still exciting, no matter how many times you do it.
Well, it doesn't hurt that we're going to throw some money at it too. And if this goes
Absolutely
where I
not.
hope it's going, where I believe this will go, it could potentially build into some significant money. But we'll get to that point. We're in the early stages right now.
Yeah.
Tell the people about your setup. What's your gun? What's your optic? What's your ammunition? What's your
Uh,
holster? Give us a walkthrough.
yeah. So, well, it's probably going to be tough to see it all, but
That's all right. Just tell me.
basically, yeah. So I run a signature line with Gray Guns. Gray Guns is a huge sponsor, one of my sponsors. And Bruce and I collaborated with off the 320, the SIG P320 platform.
Hmm.
And we basically, long story short, came up with what we call the Lockwood, and it's a 4.7-inch 320. We tried 5, we went down all the way to like a 3.9, which is a pretty interesting gun with a 40 bull barrel, bored out to 9 millimeter. So that was cool. But we just settled on, after just trial and error, we settled on the 4.7. Had, to me, the best balance, the best return, and the flattest shooting all around. So that's what we settled on. We settled on a specific slide weight, and then I sent them the worst drawing ever of serrations that I wanted to try, because I wanted I like the 1911 serrations. They're good, but I wanted something that you could catch anywhere. And it turned out they made it look good. My drawing wasn't good. They made it look good on the gun. And it's just kind of its own thing. I haven't seen anything like it. I think it might be one of those guns you love or hate, but regardless, it's all its own. And it's in the hands of Bruce Gray and his team, and they do a phenomenal job. It's bar none. Now we're making our own barrels for it, to spec, so it's even that much better lockup, that much better accuracy. It's pretty amazing. So, anyways, that's the gun. I run a Gray Guns competition trigger kit. I run the TXG lower, and that's my setup. For mags and base pads, I run Henning and Taylor Freelance. I bounce back and forth. Taylor Freelance has the brass ones that I get from Gray Guns that had the weight, and that adds a little more weight in the hand. And then Henning, because they're just quality. So as far as the belt right now, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but there's new product coming from Howitzer soon. But for right now, the belt, I don't know if I should say it, but I said it. Oh well.
Oh well.
Right. Right now I'm running a Ghost belt. It's stiff. I was running a double alpha, but I had a Ghost belt, so I'm just, the Velcro wears out over time. So Ghost belt with the Henning T1000 holster hanger and a precision holster mounted to it that they've been great with me. They've actually kind of trimmed some of the areas where I want for my scoop draw that is crucial to something like this. I think. So they've been good. It's coming out great. Then I run for mag pouches, not that we need it for the build drill, but for mag pouches, I run the Henning magnet pouches. He calls them like freedom pouches or whatever you want to call it. It's the magnetic ones. And towards the back, I run Kydex with precision holsters, Kydex mag pouches with Henning mounts. So yeah, that's my gear. That's what I'm running.
Well, let me apologize ahead of time to everyone who wants to try. I had no idea that the Ringer had his own signature Gray Guns P320 build, but turns out he's got a signature gun. So,
That's what I used last year. Yeah, I used it last year. Here, I'll just see if I can
slide it on in there.
Grab one here. So this is the old model. I believe I used this one last year. This was the first one I grabbed, but
right.
This has the old SIG barrel, great barrel, but we just wanted a little more, see what we could get. I don't know how you can see that, but that's the serrations I was talking
I
about.
do see it. That's pretty cool. It's almost it's a crosshatch like a checkering, like but a
And then you
pretty
got,
like 15 lines per inch or so. I'm guessing. I don't know. Oh, it's got
yeah,
banners.
yeah. Yeah, it's got my little logo on top and then their logo's on the other side. So,
Okay, so I noticed also that you're running what looks like some kind of a similar to a gas pedal replacement there for the
yes,
slide
yes,
gauge.
thank you. So, yeah, that is a line tactical. It's a takedown lever, whatever you want to call it, thumb rest.
Right.
I use it more for indexing. It just allows me to find that spot immediately and faster,
You got
as well as their mag release, which it's extended. It's got some serrations on there so you can't miss it, and then it's actually set up so that if your fingers come around, they can't really grab it and accidentally release it. So
gotcha.
just and then obviously I do my silicon carbide grip, so it's all shiny, looks like diamonds for non-competition shooters. They always look at it and they're just like, well, that's pretty fancy, but it's just for the
No,
grip.
that's purpose built, man. That's
Yeah,
workmanlike. That's grip in hand.
absolutely.
Do you strength train your grip? Do you use like Captain's a Crush or any of those gripper type things?
On and off. I kind of get from other workouts, and you kind of build strength by I don't use gloves or anything, and that helps with callousing, that sort of thing. I actually overdid it just not too long ago. Gave myself tendonitis by doing too much grip strength training. I think I've always kind of had a decent grip because I don't think, you know, people talk about, well, anything in this industry, it's could go on forever on what you should do. But the reality is, I think grip, I don't think about I need to squeeze the gun. The only time is when I'm like especially tired. Then I'll have to think I got to grip a little harder. But for my take on grip, it's I'm not thinking about it. I'm just naturally holding the gun, and it's all relative, right? Depending on what your grip strength is, I think. So for most people, I would say that they've got to grip the gun. Whatever's out there that 60-40 or 80-10, whatever they go by, that probably applies a little bit more to the people out there with a very good grip strength because they're not going to need to think about that as much because it's relative. So,
You bet.
but I do train a little bit more on the gun to ensure that I've got proper sight tracking, that sort of thing, and that's going to vary on where you put the pressures, and that's my main concern is having that consistent pressure that I'm not having to think about. But yeah, that you always get this stuff you always can get in the weeds with, grip,
Well,
side alignment,
I like
trigger press.
unpacking this a little bit here and there, just simply because people want to know. I mean, as it stands right now,
Yeah.
you're the defending champ, and you're walking into this thing with the target intentionally placed on your back with a bag of cash that I'm dragging into the circle to say, hey, take it from him if you can. And at this
That's
point,
right.
if your build drill isn't on point, you got less than 2 weeks to get it right. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody DCBA master, even GM, shouldn't attempt the side match, shouldn't drop,
Right.
a 20 or at least two, give it 2 attempts. You got to do that at least
Yeah.
because it's going to pay out by division. So everybody has a chance to win a little money back out of the coffee can. But I think the fireworks are obviously, I know the fireworks are going to happen Saturday afternoon. And the challenge piece lies in the fact that the action for this happens in less than a second and a half and, a total of maybe 12 times. So
Yeah.
to make a segment out of that, there's going to be personality. There's going to be analysis. Like, obviously, I'm going to need you to have a mic on. Whoever the contender is, they're going to have to wear a mic. We're going to have a camera dedicated to the timer. We're going to have multiple cameras doing all sorts of things to see reactions, see other people's reactions. And then the element, the unknown, the piece that I am tasked with drumming up when we're there is getting a crowd of people excited in the background. You know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
need to get on a bullhorn or some kind of PA, I've got an ion box PA I think that I'll bring that has a microphone that I can talk into where I can just be like that, carnival sideshow barker where I'm like, hey, come see the freak show, come see the
Yeah.
fastest build drills, come see cash awarded, stuff like that. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
super pumped, and it's dude, I'm jazzed. I'm ready for it. I think we should change gears though, because I was looking
Yep.
at Competitor this morning while I was getting all this ready to rock and roll. And I see that the Golden Bullet went very well for you.
Yeah, I shot that in one day. I had yesterday, so I couldn't shoot it the weekend. I just had my daughter's birthday. I had a friend's wedding that I couldn't make, unfortunately, because daughter's birthday,
Yeah,
some home duties because I've gone so much. You got to take care of the house. So,
tell me about
but
it.
anyway, so I shot it all on Friday, which, ten stages, but it can wear on you. So, but that was my concern is like, can I was treating this like nationals. So I don't know how everybody else is training specifically, but I don't know. I use this as I've already started nationals, so I was shooting it like I don't care who's there. I'm shooting it the way I can shoot it and the way I want to shoot nationals, and that's
Yeah.
the mindset I had in this. And it went. I'm overall very happy with it. Obviously, you can nitpick and change mistakes. I've already done that, analyze some videos because I have a couple training days still left, and then
Right.
one more little local match here in my hometown that is also going to be the mindset of shooting nationals. So that's how I'm finishing my preparation uh, for just the CO division in general.
I've got it on. I'm looking at it on competitor right now, and I mean overall, carry optics shooting minor. You're the overall winner, and there are some names, including Keith Garcia showed up and shot a limited optics gun, and
Oh,
I
nice.
find that pretty interesting because he I maybe didn't do as well as you would have expected, possibly. I don't know, but
Yeah, they still got
against
today
everyone,
left.
good.
I just said, yeah, they still got today left. So
Oh,
I've been waiting to,
there's still stages yet to be
yeah,
shot. Okay.
yeah, they're still
Well, it looks like
just
KG is
this
done.
morning. Okay.
And he's first in limited optics, but yeah. Anyway, interesting match. Fun to see you have a success piece there, even though you didn't shoot against, you know, the field. You came out and shot it
Yep.
all in one day and just let the scores fall where they may.
Hmm.
Like you said, it's not over yet, but you're looking strong against the whole field, not just against carry optics, which is pretty cool.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's, I think everybody out there who's competitive sets these goals. And certainly one of mine has been to win, besides a nationals title, which, I mean, I won't stop until I get one. But throughout, I guess, this career is, you set these goals to achieve. And as you achieve them, you create new goals and see where you can take yourself. And certainly one of them was to win overall with a CO gun at a major. The next one would be like a level 3, like an area match. I want to start doing that. I know Max, I'm sure other guys have done it, but I know Max has done it, and that's got to be a good feeling when you're
Yeah.
arguably not the fastest gun, but you still can take overall. As far as the setup, I mean, is against open and PCC. This match was particularly tough on lean, so PCC shooters had a hard time. I know that because
Right.
it was hard. It was hard for me on some of those leans, and that's just what it is. So they're going to struggle on that a little bit more, which gives the pistols an advantage. But still, I was happy overall with how I shot. I shot a lot of alphas, uh, one mic um, on my first stage, and then after that, it was pretty clean. So I kept the Charlies to a minimum and shot my sights. I just shot how I want to shoot at nationals, and hopefully it's just going to continue right into it, roll right into it.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. I am super excited because the way we've got it structured, super squads for carry optics are afternoon, morning, afternoon. So, Friday, come in, feel the gun, get your match started. Saturday morning, go ahead and shoot your Saturday, feel the gun again.
Mhm.
And then we'll see where we are getting ready for Saturday afternoon, hang back a little bit, do some of the pre production, and then, just see what happens. But I couldn't be more
Mhm.
excited right now, and I appreciate you being willing to catch this vision with me and walk into this thing and just, let's just put it out there and just see what happens. But we're in an age where we got to do something different. We got to create buzz. We got to get eyeballs again somehow. And I think this is the way to do it. And I think there are bigger things that could potentially come out of this. So I'm super stoked.
Absolutely. And
What
that
have we
that
missed
means a
at this
lot to
point?
me. Uh, as far as
just everything in general. Do you want to talk about Blue Lion, or should
Yeah,
we wait
yeah,
on that? Yeah, let's nail that.
yeah. So Howitzer, I mean, he's first of all, he's just a stand-up guy. He's kind of one of those guys that has been successful in other areas, and still maintaining that. And with Howitzer, he started shooting because he enjoyed it, just like I think we all do, and started taking trainings and stuff like that. And hopefully we can get him on. He likes to stay behind the scenes,
Yes.
but
I've been
so
picking at him, asking him to come on, but
yeah,
he may decline that again. We'll see. But one thing that Eric said to me that resonated early in our conversation, knowing his background in some of the other competitive sports, the MMA and things like that they've done
Mhm.
over the years, he sees elite level shooters training and competing in a very similar manner, and he sees the same kind of a thing that I do, in that that should be celebrated. That should be something that people should enjoy watching. There should be more to it than just who had the best hit factor on stage 20 of the nationals. You know what I mean? And I think that's where we're trying to
Yes.
go.
Yeah, yeah, he has some good, and because he has all that prior experience, he has a lot of great ideas that I think it's going to take time, just like everything does, to get the ball rolling and to get people to see what it could be.
Mhm.
But he's certainly a guy that can do it. And yeah, so what his passion, so Howitzer, the brand that he created, was simply designed because of his passion for shooting. And not only that, alongside it, he brought the Blue Line project in. He created that too because he saw a huge need for training in law enforcement and helping military vets, it, that basically come back and all they know is maybe being a vet, and they're dealing with their own things. And it's an outlet. Shooting is an outlet for them. So Blue Line Project provides free training to law enforcement and military at no cost to them. And that's his whole goal, is one, help the people on the streets because of costs and budgets with their agencies, that they don't have to think about that. And he's over 2 million in the last, I think, 2 years.
In donation.
Uh,
Yeah.
in Yes, that he's
Yeah.
donated to Blue Line, getting training to. I would
Mhm.
love to see the number of LE and veterans that have received the training. I don't know that number, but we know the dollar amount, and he's definitely holding his end up.
That's right.
So
And when you look at the names, at least out of the competitive shooting world, that he's partnered with, we're not talking chumps. We're talking we're talking JJ Racaza, and we're talking Max Michelle. Uh,
mhm.
Between the three of y'all, that is ultra premium, ultra high level training. When it's not sold out, when it's available, and that's the key element, is he's bridging that gap to LE agencies and military agencies that otherwise wouldn't even have that access. And I mean,
Right.
again, I can't. It's such a good, feel good type of story that you almost understate it when you just simply tell people about it. It's
Yes.
really that freaking cool, and it's all driven by a clothing brand that's continuing to expand. You alluded to something new that we won't retouch on in case that's a secret, but I do know that they have a line of shoes that you can get a hold of now. So things like that are continuing to
Yeah.
roll out and bolster this brand. Um, Super exciting time, man. Super, super fun. And like I said, we're going to be banging the drum all the way up until next weekend, not this coming weekend, weekend following in Ohio, Carry Optics Nationals. If you're going to be there, you definitely do not want to miss this, because it'll be a spectacle at the very least. I'm so pumped for this, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's I'm not gonna lie, when you hit me up and said, okay, we're on, it was a couple day of like, oh boy, get adjusting to the nerves of it, because if it for the people that don't know me, which is probably most of them, I'm just a family guy, working fool, working Joe. This has been a hobby. Now it doesn't feel like a hobby anymore. It's developed into something more, which is kind of a dream come true in itself. But I'm not, I'm not like the guys out there that have been on camera, done this for years, and they just, they're so natural at it. So I hope this is the start to that, so I can get better and not be awkward and all that stuff. But it's really exciting, and definitely for my family, they're excited as well and super supportive. And I couldn't do it without them, as well as all the people that support me, my sponsors, everything. It's been amazing. I just have to say, I just feel like I'm just on this ride, right?
Yeah, man.
And all I want to do is produce for those that have helped me, and I feel like I owe them, and I'm not going to disappoint. I'm gonna give it my best.
Nothing to do now but to do it, brother. That's the way to end it.
Absolutely.
Isaac Lockwood, I appreciate your time on this Sunday morning. And those of you who are going to be at Carry Optics Nationals, you better be there. It's going to be something special. We're looking forward to it. Thanks again, dude.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Let me stop this recording.